Hi everyone, my name is Sheyi Matthew. Today we want to discuss about Bitcoin. As we all know, Bitcoin is no longer a new topic or a new subject out there. On this video, we're going to be discussing what Bitcoin is all about, the origin of it, and basically some facts about Bitcoin. We are also going to be talking about some advantage and disadvantage of investing in Bitcoin. And as we know, Bitcoin is the father of all cryptocurrency, and there is need for us to know what it's all about and what it is used for, or in case you are planning of investing on it in the nearest future, you get to know some basic facts about it. I'm sure many people will be wondering or thinking or asking, what is Bitcoin? If you have heard about it, some will be saying maybe it's a scam. I know several people said it's a scam already, and some are still contemplating within their hearts that is it a scam? Is it another MMM? But after this video, you'll be able to know some basic facts about Bitcoin and some facts that will be very useful for you. Then you'll be able to know or decide on what to do if you think of investing in Bitcoin or not. So what is Bitcoin? Bitcoin is a digital currency created in 2009 by an unknown person using the alias Satoshi Nakamoto, and that is the name recorded for the creator of Bitcoin, or if I may say the inventor of Bitcoin. It is an unknown person. Up to date, nobody knows him or where his origin is from, but he created Bitcoin in the year 2009 and was given an alias name as Satoshi Nakamoto. And to further know more about Bitcoin, we're going to flip through this point together. A Bitcoin is worldwide digital currency that is decentralized and not controlled by any government or institution. Bitcoin is sent using the internet directly from person to person with no bank intermediary. Bitcoin is fast, safe, and anonymous way to send money. Anyone can set up a Bitcoin account with no qualification, no fee, no bank charges, no bank back, and no borders. Indeed, Bitcoin is the future of money. Looking at all these points, a Bitcoin, the first one said, is a worldwide digital currency that is decentralized and it is not controlled by any government. We're still going to explain some of these facts just in a while to come, but I just want to flip through some of these facts so that you'll be able to see for yourself what Bitcoin is all about. It is very fast, safe, anonymous way to send money. Anyone can set up your Bitcoin account. No qualification, no fee, no chargeback, no border is required in Bitcoin transaction. So let's go deeper and get some deeper explanation about what Bitcoin is all about and some facts about Bitcoin. Bitcoin is a peer-to-peer payment network that isn't backed by any financial institution or government. In the early definition that I said, Bitcoin does not have intermediary, it does not have any institution backing it. It is a peer-to-peer payment network, that is to say, from one person to another person without banks or government institution influencing the decision of what you are sending or you are receiving. That is what one fact about Bitcoin. Bitcoin is not backed by any government. Presently, different governments of the world, banks, central banks, are trying to bring up a regulatory so that they can be able to govern how people use Bitcoin, how people send money or receive money through Bitcoin. But presently, Bitcoin is not backed by any government or any financial institution of the world. Another fact is Bitcoin are made via Bitcoin mining, a software process that rely on math problem solving. What does this mean? Bitcoin is being generated via the means of Bitcoin mining. It is mining Bitcoin is an algebraic solution, a math problem that is being resolved by miners, and after all this, they are being rewarded with a new Bitcoin. At every 10 minutes, a Bitcoin is generated, and this generated Bitcoin is shared among the miners, those that have been able to use the software to solve a particular math problem. This is how Bitcoin is being generated. Talking about Bitcoin is a free open source and tamper proof. What does this mean? Is an open source, that is to say the software is not being paid for. The inventor did not create Bitcoin for people that are generating smart contracts with it to pay for it. It is an open source. You can build your own application on top of it without being paid for the source code, and that is why it is free. The source code is free. It's an open source and tamper proof. Bitcoin is owned by no one. It just rely on users, just like the internet. Yes, just like I have told you, after the inventor, it became an open source. Nobody actually owns Bitcoin. The value that Bitcoin generates over time is based on the use factor. It does not have one person as the owner of Bitcoin. We don't have one person as the owner of Bitcoin. It rely on the use cases. Just like all the internet does not have owner. It rely on the use cases too. Same thing goes to Bitcoin here. And another fact is no middleman or bank are involved in Bitcoin trading. In case if you are planning or thinking of investing in Bitcoin, there is no middleman or bank interference in doing your transaction. You can buy, you can sell. Another fact you need to know about Bitcoin is that Bitcoin isn't a paper money. It is an international recognized cyber money. And just like our local currency out there, Bitcoin is not a paper money. It is not handy. You cannot hold it, but it is globally accepted cyber money. It is a cyber money. You cannot feel it, you cannot touch it. It is a cyber money. So if you are expecting that, okay, maybe Bitcoin is going to be something like paper money that you go out there to spend, no. It is a cyber money, and it is internationally recognized money. Now that we know what Bitcoin is all about, I think there is also a very good point to know, or it's going to be a good point to know some advantage and disadvantage of Bitcoin. On this video, we're just going to share few out of the advantages of Bitcoin. The first one, as you can see on the screen, is Bitcoin delivered person to person without a bank. I've said that earlier in my definition of some facts about Bitcoin. Bitcoin is a kind of payment solution that is being done from person to person without bank. That is one of the advantage of Bitcoin. You can transact business from point A to point B without bank interference. Unlike conventional banking, maybe I need to explain how transferring of funds used to be. For example, Mr. Michael has a bank account in GT Bank, and he needed to transfer money to maybe Mr. Sheon in maybe Diamond Bank. This is going to be apart from Mr. Michael and Mr. Sheon is the one doing business, but before Mr. Sheon can get the money, there is need for GT Bank to communicate with Diamond Bank and said, oh, Mr. Michael is going to send you amount of money, and before you can have access to this amount of money, there must be some condition as a customer of the bank to fulfill before you can get that money. So bank and bank will relate to each other before the final person gets the money. This is like a middleman transaction. But in the case of Bitcoin, if you are sending money to Mr. Michael is sending money to Mr. Sheon, he does not need anybody. All he needs to is Mr. Sheon Bitcoin address, and Mr. Sheon gets the money directly. Nobody is interfering in the transaction. So that is a very good advantage of Bitcoin. Another advantage of Bitcoin is much low fees in transferring money. Yes, much low fees. Yes, this is a very good advantage in the sense of comparing to conventional banking. And let me not even use let me use international transferring fund, for example. Like for example, you are sending as low as $100. Maybe Mr. Michael, let's use the same name, Mr. Michael is sending $100 to Mr. Sheon that is in US, and Mr. Michael is in Nigeria. He wants to send $100 to Mr. Sheon in US. Before Mr. Michael will be able to do this, a lot of conditions must be met, and he's also going to pay some transaction fee that is so exorbitant that, for example, he only needs to send $100. Mr. Sheon only going to receive $100 at the end of the day, and there is need for Mr. Michael to pay a 5% fee of the amount he's sending. He's going to also pay for offshore fee. He's also going to pay for he's also going to pay for telex. Mr. Michael that is sending the money will have to have paid, like, let me say averagely, like $50 extra for Mr. Sheon to receive the $100. This is insane. This is not right. But in Bitcoin transaction, you're sending $100 to Mr. Sheon. Mr. Michael is only going to pay a little amount, not even up to $2. You can compare $50 to $2 of the same transaction that Mr. Sheon is to receive. Another thing is fast. The time taken before Mr. Shane received the money. In conventional banking, before Mr. Shane will receive the money, averagely these days it takes like 24 to 48 hours before Mr. Shane receive the money. But in Bitcoin transaction, you can send money to Mr. Shane in less than 5 minutes. Mr. Shane will have received the amount in full without problem. Another advantage about Bitcoin is that it can be used in any country. Yes, it can be used in any country. It is becoming a globally accepted currency. Any country of the world, you can send Bitcoin to somebody there. The person will receive it and convert it to their local currency and receive his money. It's a very good one. Talking about the advantage, another advantage is that Bitcoin account cannot be frozen because it is not governed by any banks or any government regulating it. So your account cannot be frozen. I know many people will be scared that no, if I invest in Bitcoin, maybe they can liquidate one day, MMM run away with our money. No. In creating a Bitcoin account, your account cannot be frozen. Your account cannot be frozen. Nobody is going to freeze your account because it is a decentralized payment solution. It is not governed by anybody. Nobody is controlling the account and it cannot be frozen. Another advantage is no prerequisite or arbitrary limits. And what does this mean? No prerequisite or arbitrary meaning? That is, in creating a Bitcoin account, you don't need any requirements. Nothing like go and bring your passport photograph, go and bring your landlord house rent notification, or go and bring your land paper or your NEPA bills or your water bills. In creating a Bitcoin account, you don't need any prerequisite or any document to open an account. Nothing like that. And you have no limit in the transaction you can do. In conventional banking system, before you can send, in fact, if you are kind of person, maybe you have an account that you have been operating, and the highest money that have passed through the account is like 10,000 naira. If you are to spend, if any day you have a transaction going to 100,000, then bank will be asking you some questions. And same thing goes to somebody that has an account that is running within hundreds of thousands. The day he has 10 million passing through the account, then you have a question to answer from the bank. That is when you know that bank will ask you to go and bring some document for that your documentation in the bank is not complete. But in Bitcoin accounts, you don't need all this. You can transact as much as possible without any condition attached to it. These are few out of the advantages of Bitcoin. Knowing this, I think it will also be good for us to also know the disadvantage of Bitcoin. Talking about disadvantage of Bitcoin, we're just going to flip through some of this disadvantage. The first one is lack of awareness. Yes, what does this mean? Bitcoin, lack of awareness. Today world, there are several people that doesn't know what Bitcoin is all about today, maybe because of lack of information or whatever. but there's still very much or little awareness about Bitcoin. It has not gone viral as expected. There are several people that doesn't know about it, and this has actually reduced the rate at which people accept Bitcoin. Another disadvantage of it is no physical form. What does it mean? Like I said earlier, Bitcoin it is not handy. You cannot see it. It is a cyber money, and it is not physically present for people to see, and this is a disadvantage, where there are several remote areas whereby they don't even have access to internet or computer or whatever. So those kind of areas will not know anything about Bitcoin, or even if you tell them, they will not be convinced because they cannot see it. They don't know anything about it. Another disadvantage is that Bitcoin are not widely accepted. Yes, they are not widely accepted. There are several countries of the world that keep warning their citizens that Bitcoin is not a legitimate form of currency, and they keep warning people from transacting business with Bitcoin, and this is a setback for Bitcoin because it is still not widely accepted. Some government of the world are still contemplating, are still being very reluctant in accepting it. But the truth is that Bitcoin has come to stay, be now or in future. I'm sure many of those countries will still come back to round table and discuss how they can accept it. That is one of the disadvantages. Then another disadvantage about Bitcoin is that the wallet can easily be lost. What does it mean? The wallet can easily be lost. I know about few friends that in the last few months they opened their wallet account, and maybe because of lack of proper guideline on how to set up the wallet, they got to lost the wallet in the long run because they couldn't keep either the password or their private key, and at the end of the day they lost the wallet. And once your wallet is lost, automatically you lose your money. Yes, that's the implication. Once your wallet is lost, automatically you lose your money. And that is why if you are setting up your wallet, there are precautions that you need to follow. There are procedures you must make sure that you follow so that you will not lose your wallet. And the implication of losing wallet is that you're losing your phone. Nobody is stealing your money. If you are able to get back your wallet back in the nearest future, I can assure you your money will still be intact. And if you lose your wallet, you just lost it. In as much nobody have access to that wallet, your money can still be there for hundreds of years to come. If only you can recover your details back, then you have your money back. Another disadvantage of Bitcoin is that no valuation guarantee. No valuation guarantee. I can tag this in the sense that Bitcoin is very volatile. The valuation is not constant, it's not stable, it fluctuates. The value of Bitcoin changes periodically, it changes based on use cases, changes based on demand purpose. So Bitcoin is very, very volatile. I think there is need for us to know this. If you are planning of investing on it, Bitcoin is very, very volatile. The value is not stable, the value is not constant, the value is not what is stable, as in what you have today might be different from what you have tomorrow. So there is need for us to get familiar with this volatility and be sure that yes, you want to invest in this kind of business. Because for example, let me show you, I'm going to show you a chart so that to explain how volatile Bitcoin can be, in case you are planning to invest in it. Now looking at this table, I'm going to use this table to explain how volatile Bitcoin can be over time, the value that is not stable. If you look at it from my left hand side, you will see that in August 1st 2017, Bitcoin is around $2,839, and by September of the same year, Bitcoin has appreciated to 4,744. That is what we are talking about, Bitcoin value not being stable. It doesn't have a guaranteed value at a particular period of time. It's very volatile. It goes up and it comes down. And let's go further. The same between September 1st and October 1st 2017, you can see that the value of Bitcoin dropped from 4,744 to 4,348, and just a month interval again, the value appreciated again from 4,348 to $6,404, and by the end of the year 2017, Bitcoin has the highest value ever. That is, for one Bitcoin we have 19,193, and that same between that December and January 1st, the value has dropped to 13,805. This is a chart to show how volatile Bitcoin can be. It can appreciate or it can depreciate over time. So there is need for you to know about this in case you want to invest in it. It is not something that is constant. When you talk about valuation, it is not constant. It fluctuates. It goes up and it comes down. It comes down and it goes back up. This is how Bitcoin has been since the inception of it, since the creation of it. It has always been going up and down. Now that we are all familiar with what Bitcoin is all about, some basic facts, some advantages and disadvantages of Bitcoin, I believe we can all take decision on our own, or rather you do more research to know what Bitcoin is all about before you can invest in it, in case you are planning of investing in it. But on these channels, we are going to guide you on how to invest, how to set up your wallet. In my next video, I'm going to show you how to set up your first wallet. I'm also going to show you where you can easily buy and sell your Bitcoin in case you plan of investing in it. I believe this is the right time to buy Bitcoin because the price has drastically fallen from what it is in December 2017. Around that period, we have all-time high of 19,000 plus, and presently we are within the range of 5,000, 6,000. So this is a very good time for you to buy in case you are thinking of investing in Bitcoin. There's no amount that is too big or too small to start a business. You can start with any amount from $100 or even lesser. If you buy now, when the price appreciates, then you have a good reward for that. And I don't want anyone to take this video as a financial advice. You can always do your own research as well and be sure of what you want to invest in. But before the next video, if you like this channel. Please subscribe so that you can always be updated, and click the bells so that you can be notified once a new video is released. See you next time. God bless you.